And welcome back, football fans. Big Al back again. It's Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, and welcome to the Week 6 college football television schedule and the announcers for every game this weekend. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. And off we go with the Week 6 college football television schedule. There is only one game on the slate for Thursday, and it's at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network. It's Sam Houston at New Mexico State with Jack Gordon and Taylor McCartway. And then you got 5 more games on Friday. 2 games start at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. You have Charlotte at USF on ESPN2 with Courtney Lyle and Renee Ngogila. And Western Kentucky at Delaware on CBS Sports Network with John Sadak and Kyle Long. At 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on FS1 is New Mexico State, or rather New Mexico at San Jose State, with Trent Rush and Mark Helfrich. They have 2 games at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. ESPN has West Virginia at number 23 BYU with Anish Sharaff and Andre Ware. And CBS Sports Network has Colorado State at San Diego State with Chris Lewis and Robert Turbin. All right, now we've come to Saturday. We'll start with the early afternoon portion of the schedule. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games starting at 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And then you've got a couple at 1 p.m., 1 game at 2, 1 game at 2:30, and 1 game at 3. Starting with the noon games first. ABC has Kentucky at number 12 Georgia with Joe Tessitore and Jesse Palmer. On CBS, it's Air Force at Navy with Rich Waltz and Ross Tucker. On Fox's Big Noon Saturday, it's Wisconsin at number 20 Michigan with Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt. ESPN has Clemson at North Carolina with Mark Jones and Roddy Jones. Then on ESPN2, it's number 14 Iowa State at Cincinnati with Roy Philpott and Sam Acho. On ESPNU, it's Army at UAB with Matt Schumacher and Dustin Fox. BTN has number 22 Illinois at Purdue with Mark Followell and Yogi Roth. On ACC Network, it's Boston College at Pittsburgh with Chris Cotter and Max Brown. CBS Sports Network has Ohio at Ball State, and there is no broadcast team announced for that game. And then streaming on ESPN Plus at 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific is Kansas State at Baylor with Pete Souza and Lige Douzable. An hour later at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on the CW is Wake Forest at Virginia Tech with Tom Brenneman and Will Blackman. Joey's in the house. What's poppin', man? And streaming on ESPN Plus at the same time, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, is UTSA at Temple with Richard Cross and Barrett Brooks. Then at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on ACC Network Extra and ESPN Plus is Campbell at NC State with George Sedano and Rodney McLeod. Streaming exclusively on ESPN Plus at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, Western Michigan at Massachusetts with Cooper Boardman and Craig Halbert. And then at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific on TNT is Oklahoma State at Arizona, J.B. Long and Mike Golick Jr. Now to the late afternoon portion of the schedule, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. ABC has number 16 Vanderbilt at number 10 Alabama with Sean McDonough and Greg McElroy. On the Home Depot Big Ten on CBS is number 7 Penn State at UCLA with Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson. Then you have Notre Dame football on NBC as number 21 Notre Dame hosts Boise State with Dan Hicks and Jason Garrett. On ESPN, you have number 9 Texas at Florida with Bob Wischusen and Louis Riddick. On ESPN2, it's number 24 Virginia at Louisville, Mike Monaco and Kirk Morrison. You'll have regional coverage on BTN at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Most will see Washington at Maryland with Guy Haberman and Jake Butt. Others will see Louisiana Monroe at Northwestern with Jack Kaiser and Anthony Herron. On the ACC network, it's Syracuse at SMU with Wes Durham and Steve Addazio. On CBS Sports Network, it's Florida International at Connecticut with Alex Del Barrio and Logan Ryan. And then the remaining 5 games are all streaming on ESPN Plus at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, including Central Michigan at Akron with Michael Reggie and Michael Kavanaugh. Eastern Michigan at Buffalo with Sean Kenny and Marcus Ray. Miami of Ohio at Northern Illinois with Jason Ross Jr. and Teoka Jackson. And then the remaining games, James Madison at Georgia State and Oregon State at Appalachian State. And there are no broadcast teams announced for those 2 games. At 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on FS1 is Michigan State at Nebraska with Tim Brando and Devin Gardner. At the same time on ESPNU, it's Texas State at Arkansas State with Chucky Kemp and Darius Walker. On the SEC network, it's Kent State at number 5 Oklahoma with Dave Neal and Fozzie Whitaker. Then at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, streaming on ESPN Plus, is Coastal Carolina at Old Dominion, and there is no broadcast team announced for that game. On to the evening portion of the schedule. You've got 4 games at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and then 5 more at 7:30, and then another one at 7:45, and 1 more at 8 o'clock. First to the 7 p.m. games. On ESPN, it's number 11 Texas Tech at Houston with Dave Pasch and Dusty Dvorak. On CBS Sports Network, it's UNLV at Wyoming, Dave Ryan and Adam Brenneman. And in streaming on ESPN Plus, you have Florida Atlantic at Rice with James Westland and LaDarren McClain, and South Alabama at Troy. And there is no broadcast team announced for the latter game. Then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, on ABC's Saturday Night Football, it's number 3 Miami at number 18 Florida State. With Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. Then you'll have the field pass for the same game on ACC Network at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, with Taylor Tannenbaum, Jimbo Fisher, Eric McLean, and Eddie Royal. On Fox at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific is Colorado at TCU, with Connor Onion and Robert Griffin III. Then on Big Ten Saturday night on NBC, it's Minnesota at top-ranked Ohio State with Noah Eagle and Todd Blackledge. And on ESPN2, it's Kansas at UCF with Lowell Galindo and Aaron Murray. 15 minutes later at 7:45 Eastern, 4:45 Pacific on the SEC Network is Mississippi State at number 6 Texas A&M with Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, and Cole Kubelic. And then 15 minutes after that, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on ESPNU, Tulsa at Memphis with Jay Alter and Rocky Boyman. The final two games of the night are at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Sorry about that. ESPN has Duke at California with Dave Fleming and Brock Osweiler. And on CBS Sports Network, it's Nevada at Fresno State with Jason Knapp and Taylor McHargway. And that is a look at the Week 6 college football television schedule and the announcers for every game this week. Alright, my next video will drop tomorrow as I will bring you my Week 5 NFL picks, both straight up and against the spread. And hopefully, like I said last week, I hope to do better this week than I had the last week. And Week 4 happened, and that wasn't the case. I ended up with a losing record across the board. So I'm really hoping for a good week this week. So join me tomorrow for my Week 5 NFL picks, both straight up and against the spread, plus the injury report for the Niners and Rams. For now, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pick game. Peace out. I'm about to write up those scores.